My name is Amy Velker. I am a registered dietitian and a nutrition educator with UMass Amherst, the Extension Nutrition Education Program, which is a mouthful. But basically we get to come to senior centers, we go to congregate living sites, we go to schools, preschools, everybody in between, and farmers markets and do nutrition education. And we get to cook and we get to have fun. So we'll get started today. I need to play that song, come on baby, let's do the twist, because we're talking about whole grain twists today. Each lesson is based on a different type of dance. So last week, 2 weeks ago was the fruit and salsa. And then we're gonna do, the go-go. So we have different themes, so today we're gonna talk about our whole grains. So who here is already eating whole grain foods? Okay. What kind of whole grains are you eating?
Whole grain toast.
Okay, whole grain toast, whole grain breads. Yeah. Whole grain bread. Oats. Brown rice. Quinoa. I love quinoa, yeah.
Have you ever heard of quinoa?
I have. Oh, okay. I haven't. Yes, millet, yes. And we're gonna actually, I'm gonna let you guys, I'll pass this around in a minute, but one of my other educators put this together, but it shows you what the grains actually look like. So when you go to the grocery store, you might think of some of these words. I know, what is this and what does it look like on the plant? So there's a lot of beautiful grains out there.
Have you heard of chapati?
I haven't. What is chapati?
It's a kind of Indian bread.
Ooh.
Made with the wheat.
Oh.
For us,
Yes.
the lunch or dinner,
Ah.
or in both, we make fresh
Wow.
from the wheat flour.
Okay.
We knead
Oh.
and then make fresh chapati for every, like a pizza,
Mm-hmm.
for every meal.
Oh, yeah.
Every meal we make fresh chapati.
What does it look like? Is it flat like a
Yeah,
tortilla?
it's a flat and a round thing.
Oh, I've had now roti, my roti before. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, naan. It tastes good, yes.
If you stuff the whole grain one with any vegetable, I will try and bring a sample one next, if possible one time.
But naan bread is so
Oh.
You can fill it with potato, cauliflower, radish,
Oh.
anything.
And
You
some.
can stuff it, and then, as you said, you can eat it like that.
Oh.
Just tastes wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys are making me hungry, and I just had lunch. Oh. Well, that's good. That's good. I love you guys to teach me, because you can teach me just as much as I can teach you. So I love it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So this is our poster that says Injustice for All. So my program is funded by the USDA, which just means it's available to anybody, no matter who they are. So that is our funding source. And this is the college that I work for, UMass Amherst. All right, so today we're going to talk about the difference between whole and refined grains and what that difference looks like. We're going to look in our books, and then I encourage you to, when you get home or when you're at the grocery store, look at food labels. And after we talk about the things today, I think you're going to be experts on recognizing which one is a refined versus a whole grain. And then we're going to try to think about ways, which we just found some ways, that we can incorporate more whole grains into our meals, into our snacks. And at the end, I actually have some quinoa and brown rice cooked, but I'm going to need at least 1 or 2 helpers to help me prep our quinoa rice meal today. So we're going to do is a veggie bulgur, but we were not able to find bulgur at the grocery store, so we did a quinoa brown rice blend. So we're going to make this today. And it's really delicious. It's got broccoli, it's got bell peppers, onions, and I was cooking a little bit today in the office and everybody was like, you're making something good. So we're gonna cook in a little bit too. All right, so we already talked about this a little bit. So a lot of us eat whole wheat bread already. Some of us might eat brown rice. Anything else up here that you recognize that you might eat at home? Mm-hmm. So yeah. Bagels, popcorn. Popcorn is a powerhouse. People kind of don't think of it as a really healthy snack, but it actually keeps the whole kernel intact. So you're eating a whole grain, high fiber snack, exactly. So I love cornbread. I'm a Southern girl, if you remember. Cornbread is actually a whole grain too, depending on, yeah.
Can't find good cornbread.
It is, it's really difficult. And a lot of the ones that you do find have a lot of added sugar, but there's some brands I've found that I like, or if you can find cornmeal and make your own homemade. Obviously that would be optimal, but sometimes we don't have time for that, right? They might have a whole grain version. I'm not sure. I'm not aware.
Just whatever. Have you ever made hush puppies?
Oh, hush puppies. Yes, those are good. Those are probably in the refined grain category, but they are delicious. And the other thing I want to mention to you, and we're going to talk about this, we want to try to do half of our grains whole grains, but that's half, right? So if you love white rice, if you love white pasta, and you're not willing to change that, that's okay. Find a food, yeah. Find a food that you think is a way to incorporate a whole grain. You don't have to say, I'm gonna change everything to whole grain right away. You can slowly introduce and kind of integrate it, so.
But is tortilla the whole grain? Is it made with whole grain tortilla?
There are some whole grain tortillas, whole wheat tortillas. And the corn ones would be a whole grain as well, yeah.
And you get those chips, corn chips,
Mm-hmm.
which are also
Many types of chips which have so many, even the sesame seeds also they have, anything they have.
Yeah, there's so many out there now too. So again, you can incorporate it in other ways, you know, like chips or something like that. I like that. So there are those.
Pretzel and pasta, they are the, pretzel is the white flour,
Which one?
not the whole grain.
Oh, yeah, that picture. Yeah, it's deceiving. Oh, the pretzel. Yes. Some of them are whole grain too. Some of them. It's here again. We have to look at the ingredients, and we really have to look at the nutrition label. But they do exist. So, all right. So, what is a whole grain? We have 3 parts of the grain, and we're going to find out in a minute. Refined grains also obviously have a part of the grain, but they don't have the whole picture. So with the whole grain, we have something called endosperm, which is going to be our carbohydrates and our protein. Refined grains also have that. However, the bran and the germ are the powerhouses. That's where you're going to get the most nutrition, the most bang for your buck. So the bran is the outer part of the grain that keeps it protected. So in popcorn, you actually see that part on popcorn kernels. So that's that outer covering. The germ is the part of the plant that helps it grow. So the germ is going to have your vitamin E. It's going to have your healthy fats as well. The bran is going to have your B vitamins, so niacin, riboflavin, things like that. Your minerals like copper, zinc, iron. And it's also going to have fiber and protein. So what happens when they refine those grains, because it'll last longer, it'll be a softer product, and for a lot of us the taste is different, right? So they take that part out, let's see here, but we're losing a lot of those natural nutrients. So if you do see a word that's enriched, milled, or bleached, that's an indication that it's a refined grain. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So
Enriched products, so they try to put what's missing back in.
yes.
But they don't really put very much of it in any case. Most of the time, for the B vitamins, you see 0, 0, 0.
Mm-hmm.
And if they put anything in, it's a fraction of a small percent, you know.
I looked up a statistic. So when they refine, they take 90% of the B vitamins out of it. So that's a big
Because
difference.
You're removing the endosperm, so it's taking it out.
Yeah, exactly. So you're taking that bran well, you're taking the bran and the germ. So the endosperm is there regardless, refined or whole. but the whole grain is going to have all 3 parts. So it's really important to try to incorporate those whole grains because you're losing so many nutrients if you don't. All right, so for our age groups, we have different indications of how much whole grain we should get a day. So for my lovely ladies, we're looking at about 5 ounces a day, and we have what a serving is in the book, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then for my gentlemen, about 6 ounces a day. Now, ounces and servings are different, right? So I like to go out sometimes, and when you get a big sandwich, that's probably 1 or 2 ounces, right? Or 1 or 2 servings, not just 1. So portion is different as well. All right, so what is 1 ounce of a grain? So we've got little mini bagels. Who's gonna eat 1 mini bagel though? I don't know. We've got bread. We've got half a cup of cooked bulgur, rice, or pasta. So your crackers, 5 to 7, here again. It's okay to have more than 1 serving, but that's gonna, just count that in your whole day, the whole picture, right? A half an English muffin, a half a cup of oatmeal, a cup of ready-to-eat cereal, and here's my favorite, 3 cups of popcorn is a serving. So when I want to watch a movie at home or I'm watching my favorite show and I want to enjoy something, I can eat a lot for 1 serving. And then we have a...
With popcorn, you eat lots of salt and lots of water.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
No, you can cook it in olive oil. I cook it in olive oil, and olive oil's a good fat, as long as you don't
Yeah,
burn it, as long as you don't
Or
burn
you
it.
can air pop it.
You can, yes.
Okay, it's like.
Mm-hmm.
I only do the instant. No, I don't do the instant, I do the other.
Steel cooker.
Right, the old-fashioned.
Yeah, the old fashioned.
So here again, I mean, it's, to me, like my husband does not like to eat, I eat old-fashioned oats, but my son and my husband like the instant. But it's whatever you can get in your day. I will say the old-fashioned, again, you can control what's in it, how much salt, how much sugar. So you can kind of, and you can also kind of play around with it. Do you want to have an apple cinnamon oatmeal? Do you want a banana with walnuts oatmeal? Like I like to have that option too. Ooh. Exactly.
So the instant oatmeal,
Mhm.
aren't they stripping things out for the cook?
Probably. I need to look. That's a good question. But yeah, they probably are taking some of those things out.
Instant oatmeal, people think of it, oh, it's a faster way to cook, but regular oatmeal cooks, I mean, it's not, you're gonna wait another 5, 10 minutes.
And yeah, steel oats take even longer. I'm one that you can microwave water. I do old-fashioned oats in the microwave. So you can do it. It's just, it takes a little bit more prep and a little bit more thought. But yeah, I should look at the instant oatmeal and see. It would depend on if it says it's a whole grain and what are the other ingredients in it too. And is it,
How would it cook faster if it has the whole grain? That's the whole point of it, right?
right, yeah.
Because brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I always use a rice cooker. I just throw everything in my rice cooker. But
In fact, if you soak that old-fashioned oatmeal overnight, it cooks very fast.
Yeah.
oh, that's true too.
Maybe I take about 2-3 minutes in microwave.
I love that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, soaking them overnight. That's a good idea too. Or I like the oats in the fridge, like with a little bit of almond milk or like that. Oh,
You can add some granola to taste.
mm-hmm.
Make it better, and also you can add some nuts.
Yes.
It tastes wonderful.
Oh yes. I want to do a pumpkin one. Now that it's fall, I want to do like a yogurt and oatmeal and pumpkin with some cinnamon. No, I see some heads. No,
Pumpkin stuff.
that's true. It's
Only good in pie. That's the only thing I like to pumpkin.
I like bready stuff.
pumpkin bread is good. I like pumpkin bread. Uh-oh, we're talking. That's good. Come back. Okay, this is a good time to show my poster. So let me tell you what's on here. So we have wheat berries, we have bulgur, we have 2 wheat berries up here. We have popcorn, which also we have cornmeal from that, right? We have millet. This is what the plant looks like. Here is the groats and oatmeal. We have sorghum, white rice versus brown rice, quinoa. Y'all, look how beautiful that is. And sometimes you see wild quinoa growing in the, like, kind of in the areas that are on the roadside. So you can see there's different types of quinoa, but you might see that on the road. Then we've got, I actually don't know what that guy is, an amaranth too. Amaranth is a beautiful grain. So so it's pretty interesting.
It looks familiar.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out what that one is. Sometimes these don't make it well in transportation around to all the different classes we teach. Isn't it beautiful?
The flower almost looks like a, what's that? Not poison ivy.
Sumac.
Sumac.
It looks like sumac. Yeah, it sure does. But they're beautiful. There's beautiful grains out there. So when you dry it, it turns into that.
What I do with my oatmeal
Isn't that beautiful?
is I make a bunch at a time, and I put it in a Pyrex
Oh, you're welcome.
seal, and then I eat it all week. That way you just heat it up.
There you go.
I put it in a pan with
Pretty
water
cool.
and heat it.
You're welcome. All right, I feel like Vanna White up here. But look at, isn't that amazing what they look like? I mean, I feel like we all know popcorn and we all know rice, but some of these, honestly, until I started teaching more, I didn't think about, I want to try millet and I want to try sorghum. I've had quinoa. But yeah, beautiful grains. There we go.
I've never tried any of those. I had that come up in my yard by accident. I had
Really?
no idea what it was. I don't know where the seeds came from. I had an old patch of some, I'm guessing birds.
I think the birds spread it, yeah.
I had to look it up and go, what is this?
Hey, what is that?
See if it's not, I guess if there's no EV anywhere in the distance.
All right, so one way to check, thank you guys for looking at my poster. So one way to think about and to learn, is this food a whole grain, is you want to look for, oh, it's not, here we go. We want to look for the whole, although it can be tricky, whole wheat generally means it's a whole grain, whole wheat or whole grain, but not always. So you also have to look at the nutritional facts as well. We'll see that in a second. Here again, unbleached, enriched. So they're adding the vitamins back. Here, did you notice they don't list folic acid, riboflavin? They're not listing that because it's already in the product. Does that make sense? So looking for that. And then here are some other ones that we know. So if you see whole grain corn, brown rice, whole rolled oats, whole wheat flour, whole wheat bread. And then the refined, we have long grain white rice, bleached flour, milled corn, enriched flour. All right, so I need a couple of helpers. Does anybody want to help me? Any volunteers? So we're going to talk about fiber. And why is fiber important? It helps with elimination. It also helps our heart. Oh, it keeps your blood sugar stable. So this is how long the intestinal tract is. All right, so let's find, where's our mouth? Oh my, I'll be the end. I don't mind being the end. All right, so I have a mouth. All right, if you just want to, I feel like we're doing a tug of war. Let's see here. Holy Moses. So this is going to equal about 30 feet. This is the small and the large intestine. Yep. All right. Do you mind I know. Do you mind reading your card?
The esophagus is about 10 to 12 inches long. Food takes 1 to 7 seconds to travel from the lips through the esophagus to the stomach.
Isn't that crazy? And then if there's another card, do you mind reading the one beside it? So the stomach is the curtain.
Mouth. The teeth in the mouth chew the food and mix it with saliva. The tongue rolls the food to the back of the mouth to be swallowed.
There we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, I feel like you're missing something. Where's our small intestine? Oh no.
Small intestines?
Oh, do you mind reading that one or?
The small intestine is about 20 to 25 feet long. Digested food takes 2 to 12 hours to travel through the length of the small intestine, depending on what you eat, of course.
Exactly. That's yes, and then this is the large. So the large intestine is about 5 feet long, and I'm 5 feet tall, so there you go. Digested food takes about 13 hours to move through the large intestine, but it can take up to 5 days. So when we eat those whole grain foods, not only are they bulking up the stool, but they're helping everything move. On top of the fiber, what else do you think we need to do to help the fiber move the food along? Yes, hydration. Hydration is key, and movement. So the more we exercise, the more we walk, the more we get up and move throughout the day, that helps with everything moving as well. And then, I don't know about you, but depending on what I eat, things seem to move faster or slower. So the more fiber we get, the faster it moves, right? Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Is that pretty wild? So, and for your age group, about 25 to 35 grams of fiber a day is the recommendation. Everybody and every body is different though, right? So, if we have a nutrition facts label and we see 5 grams of fiber, so you can remember this. So 5 grams of fiber is an excellent source of fiber. That's about 20% of what you need a day, right? If 25 grams of fiber a day. So that's your goal there. If something is between 10 and 19%, that's a good source. And if it's less than 3, it's kind of a low source of fiber. All right. So why is it important to eat whole grains? Why is it important, friends?
It's good for nutrition, good fiber, and maybe you reduce even the waste, because otherwise when you do all these things, you throw barn on these things. In my opinion, this is the best thing.
Yes, I agree. What else?
Prevents disease.
Yes.
Prevents colon cancer.
Yes, colon cancer, diabetes, cancer. I mean,
It
there's.
also helps in absorption of water.
Does it help the absorption of water? I don't know if it helps with the absorption, but I do think.
Because the fibers will have lots of, they are kind of dry, so that they can absorb more water from the food what they are eating.
That's true, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the taste too. We haven't talked about the taste, but I actually think a lot of whole grains taste really good. I just feel like we aren't exposed to it as much. But there's a lot of really delicious whole grains out there. We just have to, try them. But exactly, so it helps lower the risk of different diseases, which is super important. Blood pressure, diabetes, things like that. And usually they're very naturally low in fat. And the fats they do have are healthy fats, like vitamin E is going to have mono and polyunsaturated fats versus those saturated fats. So that's a good thing. I think there's quinoa in this bowl up here, but I like to see, in my next slides, I'm going to try to have more pictures of how we use the product. But I like to see how can we use this product, right? How in real, like, everyday situations. So here's a really beautiful, like a quinoa salad with cucumbers, broccoli, bell peppers, carrots, maybe some zucchini or celery, tomatoes, obviously our friend popcorn. We can all say we're gonna eat more popcorn, right? And then oatmeal with some
You
cute.
know what's nice about them too, the grains,
Mhm.
and the beans as well, is it can be made both as a salad as well as a saute.
Mm-hmm.
Saute it in olive oil,
Mhm.
with beautiful flavors like garlic or whatever, and put it in the quinoa, so you can have it either hot or cold.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
So there's different ways we can cook them. But yeah, so again, the goal is half of our grains whole. I was talking to some of the friends earlier today when we got here. I'm not going to make you change your mind. If there's a food that you really love, I love jasmine rice. It's a white rice. If I'm going to make Thai food, I want white rice. But I eat whole grain pasta. So that's something that I'm willing to change up. Same with my breads. I like to eat, I love a peanut butter sandwich with whole wheat bread, maybe a little drizzle of honey. So there are other ways that we can incorporate those grains, but it's okay to enjoy refined grains too. There's a place for those at the table as well. So don't feel like myself or anyone is telling you, you have to change every single thing. Little steps, right, can make a big difference. All right, well, let's get cooking. Who wants to help me cook? We have a quinoa with brown rice. All right, so when the stove or the pot gets hot, if you want to,
Ladle in.
yep, ladle in, we'll spritz to saute the onions. Sorry, I have everything else already prepped. Actually, I'll just leave that on. With the chickpeas.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, ladies, for helping do the intestines and cook. It's pretty fun.
I said, if I have to become a nurse, I want to become a nutritionist.
Oh, I love cooking, and we get to like.
I don't follow the rules very well, but I've always been fascinated with it.
Well, I have a story for you guys. So last week we made ratatouille for a farmer's market, and I got overexcited. I like spicy foods. So it called for a dash of cayenne. Well, your girl went, ooh, it's pretty, like paprika. And then all my coworkers tried it, and they were holding their throats going, ugh. So I had to rinse it. And then we had to doctor it with tomatoes and corn. And then people at the farmer's market thought it was delicious because they were like, it's a little spicy. And I'm like, you don't know the backstory. I got a little bit happy and was getting excited. And I was like, we're just going to go with it, you know? So I learned my lesson. You need to add a little bit and taste it. Yeah. I usually do that at home, but my husband says I over spice things up too. All right, I think we're starting. Oh yeah, I'm feeling some heat. That's the sound we like. They might. Yeah. So I have 1 can of rinsed chickpeas. And when you rinse the chickpeas, you remove about 40% of the sodium. So you can find low sodium or sodium-free beans, or you could, like Renee was saying, you could soak beans and cook them in an Instapot or something like that, and freeze them. But for a lot of us, for myself as a working mama, I'm gonna probably use canned because that's more convenient. So these are canned chickpeas that have been rinsed. 1 onion diced. What's your name?
Lynn.
Lynn, and Lynn is my beautiful assistant here, helping me saute. And then Tina, my lovely assistant Tina, has a beautiful red bell pepper that we'll add in just a second. I actually have it for you guys to bring home today. Oh, that and garlic is the best smell in the world. Ooh, chives would be good. I have chives growing in my garden. I love chives. Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah. I think you can add so many spices, our recipes are very bland, I'll be honest, but I think they're making a base for you, and then you can add what you want. Because I feel like some people don't, they're intimidated if there's too many seasonings, you know. But I cook with love, and I cook with my science brain. I'm like, maybe we should try this. Maybe we should try that. All right, oh, that's looking good. You think another minute or two, and then we can add some more, or do you think it's not quite caramelized? Maybe, should I turn it up a little bit, a smidge? Okay, we'll turn it up. Turn up the heat. All right. Yeah.
How about pumpkin beer? Oh, God, no.
There we go. Oh. Get a facial while you're cooking. There we go. Here, I'm gonna. Yeah, the broccoli.
I would put more peppers.
That's it, pepper time.
Yeah, I'm into the peppers, the broccoli.
And I blanched this broccoli. So I was supposed to, when I was supposed to teach you guys last week, but then my blood sugar was crazy. So I blanched the broccoli and froze it to keep that beautiful color. Yeah, if you want to stir a little bit more, I'm going to add. So there's no salt in this except I cooked the quinoa in a lower sodium chicken stock. So it's 2 cups of low sodium chicken stock. So I've done, oh yeah. So this is an Italian seasoning oregano blend. No salt added. So we'll add that. Yeah. Well, there's no added except for what was in the beans, which I rinsed, and then what was in the chicken stock.
Or you could do fresh herbs, parsley,
Oh yeah.
I found that popcorn.
Chives. I like the
recipe
idea of the
intriguing.
chives.
One in the
love chives.
All right. Do you want to add the quinoa? I might add another spritz of oil too, because it calls for like. Oh yeah, I cooked it earlier today.
Yeah, it seems a little.
What's the brown grain in there?
So there's whole grain and brown rice.
Okay.
It's called a bulgur veggie or veggie bulgur, but we didn't have bulgur. So that's a mix. And this was just a box mix, and I did not add the seasoning pack. So I just cooked it in chicken stock, low sodium chicken stock, and then I figured between the chicken stock and the chickpeas, there might be enough salt.
You want
So-
her to give another vegetable oil spritz or not?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. See, I would be adding at least a teaspoon, tablespoon of oil. Yeah. And eat some garlic. I forgot about garlic. I don't think that was in the recipe, but I'm a garlic girl. Do you have some garlic, do you think, in the cabinet?
I don't
No.
think they never add spices.
Oh,
So I sincerely
okay.
doubt it.
That's all right. That's all right. So the quinoa actually has a decent amount of protein, and the chickpeas. So yeah, it's got everything. It's got carbohydrates, healthy carbs.
Put it back on or not?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you could add chicken, you could add salmon, you could do pork, you could do tofu or tempeh. You could. I'm thinking barbecue would be good with this, like some barbecue sauce even. You could put some honey mustard. I mean, you could put any kind of sauce for people that don't. Ooh, yeah, like a soy teriyaki. Yeah.
Some sriracha.
Oh, yeah, sriracha would be good. I like sriracha. Maybe another minute or two, guys, and then we'll eat.
Seafood, you could put shrimp in there.
Oh, shrimp, yeah. So this would be, it could be healthy, a healthy meal by itself or a side dish. All right, you want to give it another stir? I think we're about ready. Yeah. And I do apologize if there's not enough seasoning, so add more salt and pepper if needed, or sriracha, just not too much cayenne like I did.
Okay.
All right, let's start serving it.